It's a hot Sunday afternoon here at the ballpark as the Sasquatch get ready to take on the North Platte Plainsmen for the second game. Yesterday was a win for the Sasquatch, thanks in large part due to the starting pitching of Colin Anderson. Pitched great out of the beginning of the game, and then the bullpen was able to back him up. Aiden Torpy closed things out with a strong last 2 innings. The Sasquatch were able to put up 5 runs. It was more of a pitcher's duel, not something we're used to seeing, considering how well the Sasquatch have been hitting in the month of June. And speaking of which, let's take a look at 2 players in our off-the-wall stats in their last 10 games, Ryan Bachman and Dylan Darnell. We apologize. It's hot here at the ballpark. Some of our graphics may not be working. But either way, Ryan Bachman and Dylan Darnell were the 2 players we were going to highlight in our off-the-wall stats. Both players are batting close to 400 in their last 10 games. Both will be in the lineup today, so you get to see both of those players in action. Here is the Plainsmen get ready to take on the Spearfish Sasquatch. It's a hot Sunday afternoon. Like we mentioned, we're going to have to deal with some technical difficulties. We've already been dealing with them before we even went live. So hoping that we can get those sorted throughout this game and be able to deliver you a full 9-inning broadcast here on this Sunday afternoon. It's also 90s week here at the ballpark, and I've been joking with some of the guys, along with my parents who were here for a couple of days. We actually planned this out. It's almost like we mimicked the weather. 70s night was back on Friday when the weather was in the 70s and it rained. Then on Saturday we had the 80s, and now it's 90 degrees here at the ballpark as we celebrate baseball as the Sasquatch get ready to welcome the North Platte Plainsmen here on Sunday afternoon. See if the Sasquatch can pull up a second victory in a row. Stick around when we return. Welcome to Black Hills Energy Stadium as we get set for the start of this one. Getting ready for the top of the first, the Sasquatch and the Plainsmen. If you were with us for the open, you heard me mention we've got some technical difficulties going on behind the scenes. We mentioned it's really hot here at the ballpark, low 90s, so trying to work through all of that right now. The plan is going to be to stick with this camera that's up here with us in the press box, seeming that's the only one that's giving us a solid connection. We're going to try to go with that one for the whole game, and then we'll hopefully be able to have a score bug for you. If not, then it might just be off of this camera all game, and you'll have me taking you along with the ride. Counts 1-1 here on the leadoff man, CJ Fish. Lineup for the Plainsmen today, it's CJ Fish leading things off. Brody Boyle bats second. Jordan Massis bats third. Chris Ortega cleans up. Kyle Whitaker's the DH, he bats fifth. Logan Worm sixth. This one is fouled away. Andrew Cuff bats seventh. Adrian Amesquita bats eighth. And Jackson Brooks rounds out the order. He'll bat ninth. That lineup's going against the starting pitcher for the Sasquatch. It's Russell Peterson, who's been very dominant in his starts this season. Overall, 18 innings pitched, a 5.5 ERA, but in games he started, which have been 4 of them, he pitched 1 out of relief where he struggled. But in the 4 starts he's made, 17 innings pitched, only 9 runs and 6 of them earned. So that's a 3.17 ERA, 25 strikeouts to just 7 walks. He's been really good this year. You're going to see a fastball and a big overhand curveball from him. He's able to elevate the fastball, put the curveball in the dirt, and that makes him really tough to hit, especially when he can locate like that. That's a first out. Comes via the strikeout. CJ Fish is down on strikes, and that's the first out of the game. Taking a look at the Sasquatch defense, this is how they will line up behind Russell Peterson. In the outfield, it's Patrick Rakes in left, Ben Green in center, Javier Marcial's in right. The infield third to first is Darnell, Cook, Bachman, and Tate. And behind the plate is Nolan Ackerman. He's catching Russell Peterson. Again, we apologize if you're just joining us for some of the technical difficulties. We're trying to work through them here at the ballpark. It is an awfully hot afternoon, even hotter than it was yesterday. It's in the 90s as we're celebrating the 90s and the final game of our Decades weekend. Our amazing intern staff, the people here that work at the ballpark in the sun all day, been working so hard since they got here at 2 o'clock to push through this and be able to have this game be such a great experience for the fans. And we're trying to do our part behind the scenes to make this broadcast as good as it can be for all of you watching at home. So we'll try to keep fixing things behind the scenes, and hopefully we can get them solved as this game progresses. Ball in the dirt here now. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brody Boyle, second baseman who's batting second for the Plainsmen. Got to see him in yesterday's game. So far this season, 2 for 10 in the short beginning of the season that the Plainsmen have played. This one's grounded to second, should be playable for Bachman. Throw over to Tate is in time. 2 quick outs for Russell Peterson to begin the first. Mentioned how well Colin Anderson pitched yesterday. It earned him player of the game for his start last night. Really great outing for Peterson. He was able to shut down this Plainsman offense, who has been struggling through 4 games. They entered today 0-4. Sasquatch at 13-11. This is the final game of the first half of the season. Some of the keys to the game that we were going to show on screen, I'll try to remember what they were. Certainly the pitching. That's always a key to the game, and the back end of the bullpen as well. Expect Russell Peterson to go about 3 innings, maybe 4 if he's efficient. That was the plan emphasized by head coach Justice Scott. So probably won't see a whole lot of Russell Peterson today, but hoping that he can pitch well through his short time as a starter today, if it is a short time. This one's on the outside corner. The count is 2 balls and a strike here on Jordan Massis. First inning offense has been a key for the Sasquatch as of late as well. They've gotten a lot of first inning runs. They've been able to use that to win a lot of ball games. I believe they're 11-3 in games where they score first. Counts 3 balls and a strike here on Massis. Defense will be a key as well for the Sasquatch, who are averaging over an error per game. So hopefully they can get some solid defense behind Peterson here today. The 3-1 pitch is fouled away along the left side. Count goes to 3-1. 3-2, check that. So a full count as Peterson's trying to work a 1-2-3 top of the first to begin this ball game. Comes home, and that one misses inside. 2-out walk to Jordan Massis gives the Plainsmen their first base runner. Talking back about Colin Anderson's outing yesterday, didn't allow a base runner until the 9-hole hitter. He ended up going 6 innings, allowing just 3 hits, 1 walk, gave up 1 run and struck out 5. Did so on only 83 pitches. He was dominant yesterday. Didn't give up a hit until late in the game. Russell Peterson hoping he can do the same, as this pitching staff is losing a couple arms. That's a strike on Chris Ortega, the cleanup hitter. This pitching staff is losing a couple arms to wind down the first half. See who steps up in the second half. This is grounded towards the short hole in the shortstop spot, and that's past the diving Danny Cook and goes into left field. Single for Chris Ortega. 2 runners on and 2 away in the first. Brings up the DH Kyle Whitaker. Plainsmen fell behind early. The Sasquatch were able to score 2 runs in the bottom half of the first off of a 2-run homer by Patrick Rakes. They were able to hold on to that lead. Did not surrender the lead after that point. Were able to get back on the winning side of things after a loss in 2 out of 3 games here at home to the Oahe Zap. They were able to rebound with a win. Now they'll look to try to finish off this first half of the season strong. Come away with a win here today. Swing and a miss to Kyle Whitaker. Count goes to 0-1. Russell Peterson looking to finish off a strong first inning. As mentioned, it'll probably go about 3 today. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties here behind the scenes. It's a hot day at the ballpark. Grounded to second. This should get Peterson out of it. Bachman over to first, and that'll do it. No runs for the Plainsmen in the top of the first. Sasquatch offense coming up when we return. So it's Ryan Bachman back in the familiar spot of leadoff, and he'll get the Sasquatch offense going here. The bottom half of the first inning. Give you the full lineup here after the first pitch. Lined into right field. Should be playable for Massis, and he'll put it away. The first out. Rest of the Sasquatch lineup is Jordan Bowman, who will come to the plate. He's batting second, the DH. Patrick Rakes bats third. Javier Marcial will bat fourth. Dylan Darnall batting fifth. Nolan Ackerman will do the catching. He bats sixth. Ben Tate seventh. Danny Cook eighth. And Ben Green will round out the order. He's batting ninth. Take a look at the defense after this pitch, which is grounded to second. Funky hop. Boyle able to make the adjustment, and that retires Bowman. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Plainsmen defense, it's Amesquita in left, Brooks in center, and Massis in right. The infield third to first. Cuff is at third, CJ Fish at short, Boyle's at second, and Ortega's at first. It's Logan Worm who will do the catching, and he is catching Owen Kelly, who had a very impressive first start against the Hastings Sodbusters. He went 6 innings, struck out 11, allowed just 1 run and 1 walk, and did not allow a hit through those 6 innings. That is a game the Sodbusters would win. The Plainsmen are 0-4 entering today, but this is their best arm, at least through 4 games. Rolling him out here on this Sunday afternoon. He faces Patrick Rakes, who took his first home run of the season. I think he said it was his first since high school on the broadcast yesterday. He got his first over the right field wall to give the Sasquatch an early 2-0 lead. And as mentioned, they would never lose that lead. They'd hold on to win 5-1 last night. Rakes looking to start the offense here in the first, and he fouls one away along the left side. It's curling towards the bullpen, and it goes over the bullpen and out of play. 2 pitches, 2 outs to begin this bottom of the first for Owen Kelly, who's trying to match Russell Peterson and put up a 0 in the first. Appreciate you for sticking with us despite the technical difficulties. The 1-2. This one's just off the outside corner. Now an even count on Patrick Rakes. As it stands right now, we're probably not going to be able to have any more cameras the rest of the way. We'll probably end up sticking with this one the whole way. We've been trying to work through the heat and trying to solve the issue that is the internet and the heat's influence on the internet, and it's not an easy problem to solve. Full count here on Patrick Rakes. Grounded, third base, Cuff. Couple hops, and he'll throw to first. Rakes hustling hard down the line, but the throw still beats him. It's a 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the first for Kelly. We're through 1, no score. Logan Worm, the catcher, will lead off here in the top of the second against Russell Peterson as a first pitch misses to Worm. 6, 7, 8 in the order. Logan Worm, Andrew Cuff, and Adrian Amesquita going up against Russell Peterson. A quick top of the first, or bottom of the first, I should say, worked by Owen Kelly. No base runners allowed. Peterson allowed a walk and a single in the top of the first, so trying to have a clean second inning. Behind the count here, 2-0 on Worm. This is popped up. It's going to go foul, out of play. Over along the first base side, it's the top of our press box. Solid crowd here for 90s night. Many with umbrellas or finding some spot in the shade to enjoy this game. Not a bad decision by any means. This one's fouled away almost the same spot, a little further behind us this time. Now a 2-2 count against Logan Worm. This is Worm's third game played. 0 for 5 across his first two. 7 plate appearances coming into today. 2-2 count. This one's grounded to short. Nice big hop for Danny Cook, who will throw across the diamond and retire Worm. Good stretch at first by Ben Tate, who we're used to seeing mostly at third, but I think we've seen him once at first base so far this season. Now this is his second or maybe his third time playing opposite the hop corner and instead playing at first base. So 1 up, 1 down for Peterson as he gets Worm on the ground out. That brings up Andrew Cuff. Cuff is the third baseman today for the Plainsmen. First pitch in there for a strike from Peterson. Peterson featuring a fastball that you see right there, and then he's got a big looping curveball that he's able to use really well, play off that fastball. There's the curveball right there. Usually he throws that pitch lower and towards the dirt. He's able to get a lot of swings and misses with the curveball, but also locks up hitters and gets a lot of strikes looking with that pitch. They work so well off of each other. They come out of the hand, same spot. They look like they're the same pitch, and then one ends up above the zone for a ball. One ends up in the dirt for a ball, and both of them look like strikes the whole way. Gets a lot of outs that way. 1 strikeout in this game for Russell Peterson. It came on the leadoff hitter, C.J. Fish. He's behind in the count, 2 balls and a strike on Cuff. Misses upstairs to make it 3 balls and a strike. I didn't get a chance to ask head coach Justice Scott about if there was any reason behind Russell Peterson maybe not going as many pitches today or as many innings as a normal starter maybe you'd expect. Hopefully get to 5 innings. Head coach Justice Scott sort of booked him for 3 innings today. Didn't get a chance to ask him about that, but perhaps an update the next time Peterson's on the mound. Swing and a miss. Andrew Cuff goes down on strikes. There's the fastball, powered it by him. Second strikeout of the game, and 2 up, 2 down for Peterson in the second. Adrian Amesquita now comes to the plate, 0 for 4 in 2 games played. 5 total plate appearances for Amesquita. Batting out of the 8th hole today, the left fielder. Swings and misses behind on the fastball. Strike 1 for Russell Peterson. Outfield shading him a little bit to the opposite field as he gets another swing and miss, this time on a fastball well up and away. Right fielder Javier Marcial playing relatively shallow. Center fielder Ben Green shifting a little bit towards the right center gap, and then Patrick Rakes normal depth out in left field. No balls and 2 strikes. The count on Amesquita. Peterson's 0-2. Goes back to the fastball, but misses. No chase this time. Makes it a 1-ball, 2-strike count. In addition to the technical difficulties, as we've mentioned, of course, we've got the same score bug from yesterday. We don't have one on hand for the Plainsmen, so we're rolling with a big sticks one for these 2 games. This one's popped along the first base side. Ben Tate goes towards the net, and he can't make the play. Had trouble finding the net. He had a little bit of room. It was tough to tell from my vantage point whether it went off the net first before it hit his glove, but unable to make the catch right up against the netting along the Sasquatch dugout, so it winds up just a foul ball. Gives Amesquita another chance here, maybe a second life. Here at the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away, top of the second. Pitch from Peterson is swung on and missed. That's back-to-back strikeouts to end the frame for Russell Peterson, and 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. Back-to-back zeros for the Sasquatch defensively. See if the offense can put up the first run of the game when we return. Sasquatch bats were retired in order in the first inning, so 4, 5, 6 to come up here in the second, going up against Owen Kelly. First pitch strike on Javier Marcial. It's Marcial, Darnall, and Ackerman trying to generate some Sasquatch offense here in the second after another strong inning put together by Russell Peterson. The fastball goes outside on Marcial. Marcial, as we've mentioned many times this season, it's been really a tale of two halves to this point. 0 for 19 to begin the year, but he's been one of the Sasquatch's better hitters since then. Won't get to see him swing the bat in this at-bat. As a hit by pitch will give the Sasquatch their first base runner. Marcial will reach. Now that'll bring up the third baseman, Dylan Darnall. Darnall was the player we were hoping to highlight in the off-the-wall stats today. It was going to be looking at Darnall and Ryan Bachman and both of their stats over their last 10 games where they have been tearing the cover off the ball offensively. This one gets back to the backstop. That'll allow Marcial to go to second. A wild pitch gives the Sasquatch a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Darnall has just been on fire over his last 10 and over his last 5. Over his last 5 games, he's 9 for 17. A homer and 7 RBIs. This one's grounded to second. Boyle, plenty of time. Throw to first to retire Darnall, but moving to third is Marcial. So a productive ground out for Dylan Darnall brings the first run of the game 90 feet closer. 1 out on the board. Now the catcher, Nolan Ackerman, will come to the plate. Nolan Ackerman, returner from last year, hasn't seen a lot of time since coming to the team. He's only played in 3 games. This is now his 4th, but in those games he was 5 for 10. Plainsmen keeping the infield back. Ortega even with the bag along first. Cuff slightly behind down third. The rest of the infield remaining at normal depth. Potential to bring home a run with a ground ball for Ackerman. Finds himself in a hitter-friendly 2-0 count. Yeah, 500 average, 643 on-base percentage, and an OPS above 1,000 for Ackerman, who had 4 RBIs across those first 3 games he played. Count goes to 3-0 on Ackerman. He's now sharing time with 4 catchers in total. As you've got Chance Green and Brinkley Evans, who did all the catching beforehand, and then Jake Dempsey, who serves as a utility guy, could come out of the bullpen, but we're seeing him mostly as a catcher. Check the count. It was not 3-0. It was 2-1, so now it's 3-1. And now you've got Ackerman added to that mix as a catcher, probably their best bat in terms of catchers. And head coach Justice Scott's really praised his ability to call a game as well, not just his ability to throw guys out, but also the way he handles pitchers and is able to call the game behind the plate, such an important part of being a catcher. As you see so often, defensive catchers can have long careers even if they can't hit, as long as they can call good games behind the plate and handle the pitching staff. 3-2 pitch is just off the edge. So a walk to Ackerman gives the Sasquatch first and second with 1 away. Now a chance to get a double play if you're Owen Kelly, maybe get out of this inning without allowing a run. Sasquatch still don't have a hit in this game. And to that point, Owen Kelly still has not allowed a hit on the season. As mentioned, the bottom of the first inning, he struck out 11 guys and didn't allow a hit despite allowing a run in his first appearance against the Sodbusters. So Sasquatch maybe can do the same thing, manufacture a run without needing a hit. Going up against Kelly, who's losing the strike zone a little bit in the second inning. Started off the game with back-to-back outs. Bachman and Bowman just needed 2 pitches to get 2 outs. Retired Rakes as well for a 3-up, 3-down first. Darnall, the lone out of this inning, came on a ground ball. Javier Marcial on third. Ackerman's on first. The foul ball over our heads. Here in the press box, count goes to 1-1 on Tate. Mentioned in the top of the second inning, Tate started off as a third baseman for the Sasquatch this year, played exclusively there at third, sharing time with Dylan Darnall mostly to begin the season, before the Sasquatch added Danny Cook and others. Ben Tate's now transitioned to a couple games over at first, where he's playing today. Count 1-2 after a pitch on the outside corner. Look at the bottom part of the Sasquatch order today. Really good bottom half. I mean, you've got Danny Cook, who's waiting on deck, and Ben Green is rounding out the order. Both of those guys batting over 300. Cook's batting 400. Ben Tate goes down on strikes. Big strikeout there for Kelly. As Tate was way out in front of the pitch, he waves and misses. Now a chance to work out of this inning cleanly. But, I mean, you look at this bottom part of the order, you have to be encouraged if you're the Sasquatch looking towards the second half of the year. If this is the lineup they're going to be rolling out with these kind of guys at the bottom part, this could be a lineup and a team that could give the Casper Spuds some run. Of course, have to battle with other teams, the Fremont Moo, who made it to the championship last year and beat the Spuds in 5 games. Of course, they're hoping to get a rematch and another victory over the Spuds in 2024. Sasquatch are hoping to steal that second spot. First half of the season ends today for the Sasquatch, and then 3 days off, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll have no games. And Thursday through Wednesday, they'll be here at the ballpark for a long homestand. Cook looks at a ball down low. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike on the shortstop today. Danny Cook came to the team a little bit late, right out of high school, has yet to play in a college game. But you wouldn't be able to tell by the way he's swinging the bat. Started off a little bit slow, but he's picked it up and has become one of the Sasquatch's better hitters over the last stretch. Pitch just catching the corner on that one, so the count goes to 2-2. Ackerman, after a walk, is on first. Javier Marcial led off the inning with a hit by pitch. He's on third with 2 away. And Cook fouls it away to stay alive. Two foul tip into the mitt, secured by Logan Worm, and that will do it. For the home half of the second, the Sasquatch will leave 2 runners on. They don't get a hit, but they threaten, cannot score, and we're tied at 0-2. Getting set for the top of the third here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, the Sasquatch and the Plainsmen. For those of you who are watching and sticking around with us, we really appreciate it. We know this is not the normal broadcast that we're able to give you with all of our graphics, our commercials, our different camera angles. We're dealing with the heat here at the ballpark, trying to make the most of it, and we're just glad that we're live and that my voice is going out over the airways, and you're able to enjoy some Sunday afternoon baseball, watching your favorite players, your favorite team, maybe your son on the ball fields. Happy to be able to broadcast for you here today. It's 9-1-2 in the order for the Plainsmen. Beginning off with the center fielder, Jackson Brooks. And then turning the lineup back over, C.J. Fish and Brody Boyle. Those are the three for Russell Peterson in the third. Counts 1-2 on Jackson Brooks. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the second for Peterson. And make it 3 in a row. How about that? That's the beer batter, Jackson Brooks, who's going down on strike. So I'm sure the fans at the ballpark are a little bit happier about that than maybe the two prior. But it's 4 strikeouts in the game for Russell Peterson and 3 in a row. This is a guy now coming to the plate, C.J. Fish, that he already did strike out. It's the first batter he faced in the top of the first inning, and he got him looking on a nice fastball to begin the ball game. See how he fares the second time up. Big swing and a miss on a nice breaking ball by Fish. I mentioned that Russell Peterson, you might only see him for 3, maybe 4 innings today. Their Sasquatch bullpen is quiet, so perhaps head coach Justice Scott playing it a little bit more by ear, willing to let Peterson continue if he's pitching well, and certainly he is to this point. The count is 1-1. Sasquatch trying to finish off the first half of the season with a win over the Plainsmen, who are still looking for their first win. 0-4 to begin the year. This is a team the Sasquatch are going to see quite a bit after this stretch. These Plainsmen head to Oahe. They've got a couple games staying in the state of South Dakota where they'll play the Zap, but then they're back here to begin that home stretch, like I mentioned, starting up on Thursday. We'll see the Plainsmen again here at the ballpark, as they'll be here Thursday, and then they'll be there all weekend, Thursday until Sunday, until the Nebraska Pioneers visit the ballpark for the first time. That's the team the Sasquatch will face Monday through Wednesday. And, of course, we're off on the 4th of July. So we're already getting to that point in the summer. You couldn't tell by the weather, of course, here at the ballpark. It's getting to the dog days of summer. Count is full here on C.J. Fish. Leadoff hitter and shortstop for the Plainsmen. Grounded. Up the middle, Cook ranging over towards the bag. He'll have a play on it and a throw a little bit high, but Tate comes back down on the bag in time to retire Fish. Good play both ends by Danny Cook, and then Tate to come back down on the bag and retire Fish. So after Chris Ortega's single with 2 away in the first inning, 6 straight batters retired by Russell Peterson. So now the Sasquatch will get some action in the bullpen. I believe it's Jackson Peters who has begun throwing. That's the breaking ball there from Russell Peterson that works so well. Catches the zone on a first pitch to Brody Boyle. Boyle grounded out to second in the first inning. 0-1 missing from Peterson to even the count. Peterson's 1-1. Swung on and missed. Another nice breaking ball. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brody Boyle. Russell Peterson having himself another very fine start after Colin Anderson led the way. Delivered 6 strong innings for the Sasquatch yesterday. Peterson trying to work through 3 scoreless. His pitch is swung on and missed. How about Russell Peterson? 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. As he retires Boyle, he retires the last 7 in a row in what could be his last batter faced. He goes 3 scoreless innings. We'll see if the Sasquatch offense can give him some support. So Russell Peterson needs just 50 pitches, 31 of them for strikes to deliver 3 scoreless innings. His day could be done as Jackson Peters is warming up in the bullpen. If it is done, what a phenomenal outing for Russell Peterson. Now it's up to the Sasquatch Bats, who are still looking for their first hit. It's 9-1-2 in the order. Ben Green, who leads things off. Count is ball and a strike. It's Green, Bachman, and Bowman. Going up against Kelly, who, as mentioned earlier, really great start his first outing of the summer, and he's continued it here today. He's gone now 8 innings without allowing a hit. Nobody's been able to get a hit off of Owen Kelly this year. Count is 2-1 on Ben Green. Sasquatch offense threatened in the second inning. Had first and third with 1 away, and then back-to-back strikeouts by Kelly. Got him out of that jam. Something the Sasquatch have been doing a lot better in the month of June. Situational hitting and taking advantage of opportunities with runners on base, leaving fewer guys on base than they were in the month of May, has helped them have a better record in this month. This one is popped up along the third base line. It's going to drift towards the fence. Stayed in play, but nobody was there as Amesquita and Cuff. No chance to get to that ball in time. It'll be a foul ball, and the count stays at 2-2. Another 2-2. Just missing. Now full count. This is one of a couple games going on in the ILB. The Casper Spuds and Milwaukee Zap. The Zap currently lead the Spuds 5-3. That game's in the top of the 6th. Then we'll have some other games later this afternoon. Sodbusters and Prospects will go at 5:35 local time. This is an afternoon game. Usually you see 6:05 first pitches, but every Sunday home game is a 4:05 first pitch. So look out for that if you're thinking about coming to the ballpark. This one's grounded up the middle, and there is the elusive first hit off of Owen Kelly this year. Comes off the bat of the 9-hole hitter, Ben Green. Now leadoff base runner for the Sasquatch in the third. And we've talked about Ben Green so many times this year. He came up here in the booth for an interview in yesterday's game, although the audio may not have been working for half, if maybe not all of the interview, but Ben Green has been such an important factor for the Sasquatch offense, and if he's batting ninth in a situation like this where he leads off an inning, he is essentially a second leadoff hitter. Does his job by getting on base. He's got some speed as well. Home plate umpire, it looked like thought about calling that a strike, but decides not to. So Ryan Bachman will take a first pitch ball. His first time up to the plate, swung at the first pitch and grounded out. Flew out to right field. Bachman every now and then does go after the first pitch. We've seen him be aggressive from time to time, but he's also probably among the best in the league in terms of quality at-bats. He's certainly far and away on the Sasquatch. Ben Green takes off. The pitch is low. Throw down to second, and falling down is the shortstop Fish, who still applies the tag, but just late. Good readjustment by C.J. Fish to even get the tag down. Came down, it looked like, on the helmet of Ben Green, but still it's a stolen base. Gets the Sasquatch again with a runner in scoring position. Javier Marcial advanced on a wild pitch. He was in scoring position with nobody out the inning prior, and Sasquatch couldn't bring him around. Now the top of the order will try to do it as Bachman singles up the middle. Ben Green's going to be waved around, and he'll score easily. It's an RBI single for Ryan Bachman. The Sasquatch have the first run of the game. It is 1-0. So, of course, it's Mr. Sasquatch who gets the job done for the Sasquatch. In the third, an RBI single right up the middle. Back-to-back singles that were hit right up the middle. Sasquatch maybe second time through the order are starting to time up the ball a little bit better, seeing it out of the hands of Kelly. Here's Jordan Bowman. A lot of power out of the 2-hole in the order. He also swung at the first pitch and grounded out in his first trip to the plate. That was in the first inning. So Bachman now on first. The Sasquatch with 1 run on the board. They look to extend the lead here. Count is now 1-1 on Bowman. Bowman's been doing it all as of late and probably will continue. after the departure of a couple starters, as mentioned, Bowman is going to be probably one of those guys that will find himself some starts. You'll probably see Colin Anderson, Russell Peterson, Cade Bleeker, and Jordan Bowman as the primary 4 guys. See if head coach Justice Scott maybe adds a 5th to that rotation. Count is 1-2. And Bowman looks at ball 2 to even the count. So the Sasquatch score first, and that's notable because when the Sasquatch score first, they've been pretty good this season. They've struggled a bit when playing from behind as Bowman launches one towards left field. That ball is foul. Hit hard off the bat of Jordan Bowman, but winds up a foul ball. In games where the Sasquatch have scored first, they are 11-3. This is in the dirt. Now full count on Bowman. See if they decide to send Bachman here. He doesn't necessarily have the most speed as a leadoff hitter. He's not known to steal bags, more so just get on base. See if they decide to send him with Bowman at the dish. They do not. The pitch is inside. Bowman draws the walk. The Sasquatch, 3 straight batters reaching here in the 3rd inning. Bowman on a walk, and now first and second with nobody out. And Patrick Rakes will come to the plate. Patrick Rakes, a home run last night. Continued what's been a really good start to the year for Patrick Rakes. So we get a mound visit here. Logan Worm will go out to talk with Owen Kelly. Rakes this season, .347 batting average for the outfielder. I mean, you look at the Sasquatch team as a whole, it's no secret that the offense is their strongest factor and that their defense and pitching is not. The offense, so far this year, the Sasquatch, as a team entering today, a batting average of .293, 13 homers as a team, and in 14 games, they have been one of the best offenses in the league. Patrick Rakes into left fields, and it's misread in the outfield by Amasquita. He went back, and he'll have to play it on a hop. A single for Patrick Rakes on what probably could have been the first out on a flyout. Has now loaded the bases here with still nobody out. Ryan Bachman on third, Jordan Bowman on second, Patrick Rakes on first. The Sasquatch are hoping for a big 3rd inning to finish the point on the Sasquatch offense. 13-11, so 24 games played. This is the 25th. Entering today, 191 runs scored. They'd allowed 168, a positive run differential of 23, and they're the only team outside of the Casper Spuds with a positive run differential, despite the Hastings Sodbusters being 14-8. Sodbusters have a -2 run differential. Javier Marcial fouls the 0-1 away, so the count will go to 0-2 on the right fielder. Marcial was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, stranded at 3rd. Sasquatch this inning, single, single, walk, single. Ryan Bachman's RBI single brought home Ben Green, as the Sasquatch are hoping to put up a crooked number here in the 3rd, already leading by 1. Here's the 0-2. This one's yanked. A good stop by Worm. Will keep all the runners put. Count now, a ball and 2 strikes. If you're just joining us or have been in and out, we appreciate you so much for sticking with us despite some of the technical difficulties due to the heat here at the ballpark. Running with just the home plate camera up here in the booth. We won't be able to have our normal setup of 4 or 5 cameras that we enjoy being able to switch to. Our amazing video production intern, Stephen Hogenkamp, will have a little bit easier job today. The 2-2. This one is looped and grounded and fielded by Cuff. The throw to first retires Marcial, but the RBI as Ryan Bachman comes in to score. That ball just took a high hop there at 3rd base, and a good play by Cuff to reach his glove up and make the play. So they get the first out of the inning. All of the runners will advance 90 feet, so now Blackman comes in to score the second run. Jordan Bowman on third, and Patrick Ricks will be on second. It's one of the hottest bats in the order. Dylan Darnall, the third baseman, will bat now with one away. Corner's creeping in a little bit. Middle infield back as Darnall slaps one to right field. This one gets down in front of Massis. Sasquatch will just bring one home. Jordan Bowman scores. Patrick Rakes goes to third. An RBI single for Dylan Darnall. He's giving the Sasquatch a 3-0 lead.
Next up for the Sasquatch, number 28, Nolan Ackerman.
So now it's Nolan Ackerman, the catcher, who will bat. 3-0 Sasquatch. All 3 runs coming here in the third. Jackson Peters continuing to loosen for the Sasquatch. Expect to see him probably in the fourth. First pitch strike on Ackerman, who walked his first trip. Seventh batter to come to the plate here in the third inning for Owen Kelly, who had been so good through his first 8 this year. 6 innings against the Hastings Sodbusters. Darnell takes off for second, and the throw will not be made. The pitch couldn't be handled by Worm. Seeing the Sasquatch run a little bit here today. There's another stolen base. This time it's Dylan Darnall. Ben Green stole one earlier this inning. 2 in scoring position here in the third. Score 3-0. 0-2 pitch. Sails away. Ackerman no chase. Now the count 1-2. To go back to Kelly, 6 innings pitched against the Sodbusters, no hits allowed. He didn't allow a hit through 2 today until Ben Green got him here in the bottom of the third. He led off the inning with a single, and the Sasquatch offense hasn't slowed down since. The lone out, a productive one, an RBI ground out for Marcial. 4 hits in the inning for the Sasquatch, all singles. And now 2-2. This is lined, and that's going to get over the head of the shortstop Fish into left field. Amiskita to play it. 1 run will score. Here comes Darnall. The throw to the plate is cut off. It's a 2-run single for Nolan Ackerman. And the Sasquatch have put up 5 here in the third. It is 5-0. So Patrick Rakes and Dylan Darnall both come in to score, as we'll get a mound visit here for the Plainsmen. Has not been the third inning that Owen Kelly was hoping for after such a good first 2 innings. Laboring through this third. Brought out a bottle of water to try to cool him down on the mound. It's a hot one here at the ballpark. It's close to 90 degrees. It's been 90 degrees for a majority of the day. Checking the weather. The current weather says 93 here at the ballpark, so another massive shout out, as I mentioned already in the game, but massive shout out to everybody here on our intern staff who works so hard down on the field. They're enduring the heat for all 9 innings today. We get at least the cover of the press box here, but our intern staff doing such a great job, working so hard. Everybody on staff here at the Sasquatch, on days like this, you just tip your cap to them and appreciate all the hard work that they do to make these things successful here for the fans at the stadium. Decent crowd on hand, 90s night at the ballpark. It's the last of our Decades weekend. If you were able to come out and catch a game, 70s, 80s, and 90s weekend. Ben Tate skies one into shallow center field. Who's going to get it? It's the shortstop Fish going out there, and he'll make the play. Second out of the inning comes on the pop-up by Ben Tate. But yeah, we have promotions every game of the season. It's a different theme night every game, so check out the calendar on the Spearfish Sasquatch website, spearfishsasquatch.com. You can go to our calendar and see all the theme nights. Pick one. I know we've got Star Wars night coming up. We've got 2 fireworks nights coming up. One, I believe, is on the 28th and against the Plainsmen. That's on Friday night. And then another one is on June 2nd, Tuesday night. So if you want to come out and watch a fireworks show a little bit before the 4th of July, celebrate a bit early, come out to the ballpark for both of those games. Hopefully the weather is a little bit cooler and we can enjoy ourselves a little bit more here at the ballpark. Counts 0-2. in the dirt. A long lead off of first by Ackerman. They tried the back pick, and they nearly get him, but he does slide in safely. Ackerman was trying to read that pitch in the dirt, but a good stab behind the plate by Logan Worm was able to keep him in check at first. So the ninth batter to come to the plate is Danny Cook. The Sasquatch bat around here in the third as he fouls it away to stay alive. Count is 1-2. Sasquatch bring home 5 runs on 5 hits here in the third inning as they get to Plainsmen starter Owen Kelly. Danny Cook, who struck out his first time up. Will Sky one into center field, should be playable for Brooks. Barely has to move, and he makes the catch. 5 runs for the Sasquatch as they take an early 5-0 lead. We're headed to the fourth when we return. So from Russell Peters to Jackson, or pardon me, from Russell Peterson to Jackson Peters. Sasquatch bullpen will come into the game, and it's Peters who relieves Peterson. We'll give you the final line on Russell Peterson in just a moment. Jordan Massis digging in from the left side to begin the fourth. First pitch from Peters. That's a strike. Russell Peterson, 50 pitches across 3 innings, faces just 11 batters, but efficient and effective. Doesn't allow a run, 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 5. Retired the final 7 in order. Dominant outing for Russell Peterson. Of course, maybe expecting him to go more pitches, but like I said, didn't get to ask Justice Scott about maybe a reason behind the limited amount of time for Peterson. But either way, the bullpen will now get some action. Jackson Peters, this is now his 4th game. Has pitched 3 innings so far, an inning in each of his first 3. First 2 did not allow a run, but then last time out gave up 3 against the Oahe Zap. So he enters with a 9 ERA. Count is 1-2 here on Jordan Massis. And I believe it was Jackson Peters that Nolan Ackerman was talking about when we had him up, that he said it was so hard to pick up the ball out of his hand, even as a catcher, because of the funky delivery and the speed from Peters. Even Ackerman had a tough time picking it up, and he knew it was coming. Can only imagine how tough it is for these hitters. This one's grounded along the first base line. Easy play for Peters. Underhand toss to Tate. And that will retire Masses for the first out. Chris Ortega will now come to the plate. Ortega was the only guy to get a base hit off of Peterson. He singled his first at-bat in the first inning. Quiet offense to this point for the Plainsmen. Masses walked and Ortega singled. Those are the only base runners they were able to generate off of Peterson. Jackson Peters will catch the outside corner with that one to begin Ortega's at-bat. Sasquatch have some stretching going on in the bullpen, but nobody getting loose. Peters, we've only ever seen him work one inning at a time, but if he goes 3 up, 3 down, maybe we see him for 2. This is into right field. Marcial going back, and it's over his head up against the wall. Marcial will throw down to second, and it's a good one, and the tag is not in time. Looked like Cook missed him on the tag. Great throw out in right field by Javier Marcial. Nearly catches Ortega trying to swipe second. It doesn't, and Ortega is 2 for 2 with a single and a double. One-man offense to this point for the Plainsmen. He's in scoring position with 1 away. And it's the DH Kyle Whitaker who will come to the plate. Sasquatch have some pretty good arms out in the outfield. I mean, Javier Marcial with that throw. We saw Braden Gostisha get a guy at the plate with his throw out in right field. So Sasquatch outfield tough to run on for opposing teams. Something to have in your back pocket if you're Justice Scott. Certainly a good thing for a defense that, as a team, has struggled this season, as they have committed 40 errors across the 24 games entering today. A little over an error per game, close to an error and a half. Certainly not a recipe for success defensively, but when the offense has been as good as it has, still been able to win a lot of ball games despite some of those miscues in the fields. Counts 1 ball and a strike on Kyle Whitaker. Whitaker grounded out to second in his first at-bat. Danny Cook holding on Ortega a little bit at short, but not very closely at second base as we get time called. Infield, outfield, straight up otherwise on Whitaker. Comes the 1-1 from Peters. This misses now, 2 balls and a strike. Jackson Peters entering today. 5 strikeouts to 3 walks across those 3 innings. Allowed 3 hits as well. It's so tough to hit when he's commanding the strike zone, but he can lose it from time to time. Here comes a 2-1. That's a swing and a miss. And that's what I was alluding to when I talked about Nolan Ackerman and how hard it is to see the ball out of his hands. Able to generate ugly swings like that. Kyle Whitaker was chasing. And now the count is 2-2 with 1 away. Peters in the game replacing Russell Peterson after 3 innings of shutout ball. Peters looking for his second out on the 2-2. Goes with a fastball and misses it outside, so now the count goes full. It's the catcher Logan Worm who is due up next. He's waiting on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Chris Ortega after a double. He's on second. 2 hits to this point, both of them off the bat of Chris Ortega. Here comes the 3-2. And that's ball 4. So a walk issued by Peters gives the Plainsmen a pair of base runners now in the 4th. They'll have first and second with just 1 away. And it's Logan Worm, the catcher, who digs in. Worm in from the right side of the plate. Grounded out to shortstop to begin the 2nd inning. That was his first trip. Sasquatch would take another ground ball to short. Maybe a chance to double him up and get out of the inning. First pitch strike from Peters. Been seeing that at least through the first 3 batters. Getting ahead of hitters. Allows him to set up that nasty breaking ball. He was able to get a chase to Whitaker. 0-1, the fastball sails outside. Seeing that a couple times as well throughout this 4th inning. The fastball that he's just maybe losing the release point on slightly and ending up in the left-handed batter's box as opposed to where he's trying over the outside corner. Here comes the 1-1. This is grounded to short. Maybe they will turn 2. Cook to Bachman. There's 1. The throw to first. That's in time. It's a 6-4-3 double play, a pitcher's best friend, and Jackson Peters puts up another 0. 4 straight zeros by Sasquatch pitchers. They'll lead it 5-0 when we return. For a second straight inning, it's Ben Green who will lead things off. The Sasquatch brought home 9 to the plate in the 3rd inning where they scored 5 runs off of Owen Kelly. And now that second leadoff in Ben Tate will lead off here in the 4th. Got a single to kickstart the offense, also stole second, and came around to score on the RBI single from Ryan Bachman. Just 1 inning ago. Owen Kelly still out there for the Plainsmen. The Plainsmen have a much smaller roster than the teams that play all year round. We haven't seen the Bison or the Pioneers or some of these other teams that strictly travel, but I'd assume they do the same and have a smaller roster with a lot of these guys coming over just for the second half of the year. Counts 1-2 here on Green. These teams don't factor into the standings in terms of fighting for a spot against the now guaranteed Casper Spuds. They clinched a spot a couple days ago, clinched that first seed with the first half record. Green flies one into right center field. Coming on is the center fielder, Brooks, and he'll put it away. So Green flies out to begin the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting number
Brings up Ryan Bachman. We're hoping to have Micah Wallett up here in the booth for the home half of the fifth. And the reason why, as I'm sure we'll talk about when he comes up, is he is the only 90s baby on the team, born in 1999. We're celebrating 90s night. It's actually his idea. He came up here before the game and asked if he could do it, or asked if we wanted him to do it, and I said, of course. Love to have you on. First time we'll have him on the broadcast, and looking forward to hearing some insight from Wallett, Micah Wallett. So stay tuned for that in the bottom half of the fifth. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see him at all. As we mentioned so many times, the technical difficulties and the weather and the heat not on our side today, but you'll at least be able to hear him. Count is 3-0 on Ryan Bachman. As we mentioned, Bachman, RBI single in the third inning. That brought home Ben Green. Fly out and a ground out, or a single for Ryan Bachman today. Cole Krieber has begun throwing in the Sasquatch bullpen. Could see him in the fifth inning after just one inning of Jackson Peters. 3-1 in the air, right field. Should be playable, though, for Massis, who drifts over towards right center and makes the catch. Back-to-back flyouts here in the fourth. First Green, then Bachman. 2 up and 2 down.
Now batting number 37, Jordan Bowman.
Owen Kelly was able to work a 3 up, 3 down first inning and did so quickly. Needed just 2 pitches to get Bachman and Bowman, and then a ground out to Rakes got him 3 up, 3 down first, but since then hasn't been as easy. Kelly hoping for his second inning where he only needs to face the minimum. We'll have to deal with Jordan Bowman, who grounded out in the first and then walked and came around to score in the third. He lines one into left field. This is well hit, and Amesquita coming in. He goes into a dive, and it gets by him. Bowman will round first and head for second. He's in there standing up. An amazing effort in left field by Amesquita, but he just couldn't come up with a miraculous catch, and Jordan Bowman will wind up at second base with a double. Can't fault Amesquita at all in that play. He got a really good read off the bat. Came in charging hard and almost got to that ball in time. It's tough to see from our vantage point exactly how close he got, but certainly gave it a great effort in left field. Hard hit, and Bowman gets a double. He'll go off for third on the pitch, and he steals third, and that's off of Kelly, who did not look back at him at all. So the Sasquatch running on the base paths. It's now Green, Darnall, and now Bowman. All with stolen bases, and now you got a chance with Patrick Rakes at the plate to bring him home. A single would do the job guaranteed. The count is 0-2 on Rakes. Ground out to third, and a single. Not an RBI single, just a single in the third inning, and also came around to score. 0-2. Out straight back. We'll do it again. The 0-2 pitch sails outside. So the count 1-2 here on Patrick Rakes, who's trying to continue a second straight hot day at the plate after a 2-run homer yesterday. See what he has in store today. Won't get an opportunity there. It's a good backdoor breaking ball. Catches the outside corner, and that'll retire Rakes. Sasquatch will leave a 2-out double in the form of Jordan Bowman stranded. No runs for them in the fourth. We head to the fifth. Score still 5-0. Getting ready for the top of the fifth. New pitcher on the mound for the Sasquatch. They'll go back to the bullpen, and it'll be Cole Krieber who comes in to replace Jackson Peters. First pitch grounded up the middle, and that's going to get past both Bachman and Cook. A high chopper winds up as a leadoff single for Andrew Cuff. So the leadoff base runner, one pitch and one runner aboard for the Plainsmen. Jackson Peters in that fourth inning. He, of course, just goes the one inning. 15 pitches and one hit, one walk. Does not allow a run, doesn't get a strikeout either, but most importantly, no runs allowed for Jackson Peters, and they'll go back to the bullpen with Cole Krieber, whose season numbers, not the prettiest, an ERA up above 10. He's allowed a run in all but 2 of his appearances this year, but one of those was the last one he made against the Oahe Zap. Struck out 1, allowed a hit, walked a batter, and 1 inning of work on June 20th, 3 days ago against the Zap. So hoping he can carry that momentum into a clean 5th inning. Potentially more than 1 for Krieber, as we've seen him pitch into a 2nd inning 3 of his 6 appearances. Longest he's ever gone was 2 innings against the Hastings Sodbusters. So see what we get out of Cole Krieber today. As it stands right now, Sasquatch pitching has been one of the stars of the game. Can't really give it to one person, but if they can keep this going, can almost give a player of the game to the whole pitching staff. Swing and a miss, 3 pitches and a strikeout. As down goes Adrian Amesquita for the 2nd time today. That's the first out. That'll bring out the 9-hole hitter, Jackson Brooks. As we mentioned, hoping to have Micah Wallett here up in the booth for the home half of the 5th, so stick around for that. Cole Krieber's first pitch is down low to Jackson Brooks. Brooks struck out his first trip in the 3rd inning. And as mentioned, he was, or is, the beer batter here at the ballpark. So the fans were able to enjoy some discounts thanks to his strikeout. Cole Krieber trying to give him another one here. The 1-0 pitch is inside. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Plainsmen hoping they can turn the lineup over with some guys on base. Andrew Cuff led off the inning with a single. Got the top of the order, CJ Fish waiting on deck. If Krieber gives up another base runner here, they'd have 2 on with 1 away. Count is 3-0 on Jackson Brooks. That's something that Krieber struggled with from time to time. Has been the command. 14 walks to 8 strikeouts in 8 1/3 entering today. Comes his 3-0 pitch. That's a strike. Brooks was taken the whole way. 3 hits on the game for the Plainsmen. No runs here in the top of the 5th inning. Trying to crack the scoreboard. This one misses outside. 5-pitch walk. Jackson Brooks will reach. Brooks will now head to first. Andrew Cuff will be on second, and it's the top of the order, CJ Fish. Looking to get some runs on the board here for the North Platte Plainsmen. CJ Fish has been quiet at the dish today. Struck out looking in the top of the 1st to begin the ball game, and then he grounded out to shortstop on a nice play from Danny Cook. That pitch just missing for ball 1. Grounded right side. That's past Bachman. Goes into right field. Marcial will field it and get it in quickly. And they're going to send the runner home. Here comes the relay. The play at the plate. Not in time. Close play at the plate. And Ben Tate's relay throw is just a tad bit late. I thought Andrew Cuff ran through a stop sign there at third base, as he at least slowed down. Initially wasn't looking like he was going to come home, but they made the aggressive move to send him home, or at least he did, and the RBI single for CJ Fish gets the Plainsmen on the board. They've cut it to 5-1. Advancing to third as well is Jackson Brooks, so with 1 away, Plainsmen are set up to tack on a few now as the runner goes. Throw down to second from Ackerman. Gets away from Bachman and into center field. Fish is going to advance to third, and the run will come in to score on the error. So Ackerman will probably get the error on the throw, and Fish will steal second. And the error advances him to third, and also the error will bring home Jackson Brooks. Second run for the Plainsmen, who now make it a 5-2 ball game. And threatening for more. 1-0 pitch missing, and count is 2-0. Haven't seen a lot of that from the Sasquatch, throwing down with runners on the corners. Usually they elect not to throw that ball down, but maybe Ackerman trusting him behind the plate, one of their better defensive catchers, or maybe that was just his call. He thought he had a chance, and he made a good throw. Would have been a bang-bang play if Bachman comes up with that cleanly, but can't really fault Bachman for it. That's why the error will, or at least should, go down on Ackerman for that. This one is fouled away. Counts a ball and 2 strikes on Brody Boyle. Ground out to second base in the first, and he struck out in the third. He's 0 for 2 as well. Plainsmen with a pair of singles in this half inning. They had only 2 hits through 4, but 2 in this fifth off of Cole Krieber. Gotten them back in the ball game and a chance to make it a 5-3 ball game with a either productive out or a base hit here from Boyle. His time is called. Approaching the middle part of this Plainsman order, 2-hole hitter Brody Boyle in the box. 1-2 pitch. That one just goes off the outside half, and leaving the count now 2-2. Plainsmen looking for their first win. If they can get it tonight, they're 0 for 4. 0-4 on the season. This ball gets away, and the wild pitch is going to bring home Fish. So 3 runs now in the inning, and a full count coming to Brody Boyle, as the Plainsmen have been able to bring across 3 runs against Cole Krieber, and now with the bases empty, chance for him to maybe reset and limit the damage here. Fresh opportunity. Full count. Brody Boyle at the plate. Here's Krieber's pitch. That one goes outside. It's a walk to Boyle. And now runner aboard. Brings up Jordan Massis, the right fielder. Ackerman will go out and talk with Krieber. Nobody up and throwing right now in the Sasquatch bullpen, but looks like maybe Nathan Harb is standing on the mound with a baseball, getting ready to start getting loose. So with 1 away and a runner aboard, it's the right fielder, Jordan Massis, who digs in. First pitch, grounded to second, a chance to turn 2. There's 1, and there's 2. Cole Krieber induces a 4-6-3 double play. That will limit the damage in the fifth. 3 runs for the Plainsmen, but they'll keep it right there. When we return, Micah Wallett will join us in the booth for the home half of the fifth. Stick around. Getting ready for the bottom half of the 5th inning, as it's a new pitcher on the mound for the Plainsmen. Dean Rizzo will take over for Owen Kelly, who goes 4 innings, allows 5 runs. Now the Plainsmen bullpen will come in. Dean Rizzo will get his first action as a pitcher this season. And he will be facing the heart of the Sasquatch order, 4-5-6, Javier Marcial, Dylan Darnall, and Nolan Ackerman. I'm up here in the booth with Micah Wallette, who's joining us here for this bottom half of the 5th inning. A pleasure to have you up here. His first pitch to Marcial is grounded hard to third, fielded well by Cuff, and he'll throw across the diamond for the first out. Well, Micah, a big reason why you're up here is because you were born in the 90s, the only player on the team born in the 90s. We're celebrating 90s night. You came up here and asked if you could hop on the broadcast, but is there anything different? I mean, it's only a few years difference between you and us on the intern staff. Is there anything different you take pride in about being born in a different millennia?
I mean, last year, the 90s, so 99, kind of special. Other than that, no. They call me uncle, so, oldest guy on the team. It's kind of funny, but no, being born in the 90s is, it's a cool thing. It's
well,
a cool
so
thing for sure.
we've had decades weekend as Dylan Darnall fouls the second pitch off, count as a ball and a strike. We've been highlighting the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but I got to get your take. First, we'll just go for those 3 decades. Which decade, 70s, 80s, or 90s, had the best music?
Oh, the 90s for sure.
Really?
I'm more into rap.
Okay.
So you get the Tupacs, the Biggies. That's the type of 90s music I like. But 70s, 80s, it has some special songs for sure.
Well, then I might not need to ask the second part of it, which was if you had to pick any decade that had the best music. Are you still going with 90s or 2000s and 2010s a little better?
I am more of like a new school guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like Drake, Lil Uzi. I like guys like that. But I definitely appreciate music that came before me. I do like music in general, just all different genres. So, yeah.
Well, I guess we might as well. We'll stick with the theme, because why not? Who has the best and worst music taste on the team?
I was just talking to Matt, actually, about his walk-up song. I don't know the name of it, but it's pretty funny. He wants to change it, and we were trying to figure out what we should change it to, and he was saying he's more of like an old school guy, old school country. So, that's a pretty weird taste to me, in my opinion.
All right, Matthew Gonzalez, right?
Matthew Gonzalez, yeah, he has the weirdest music taste, in my opinion.
All right, so 2 away. Pair of groundouts for Rizzo here in the 5th inning, as we've got Nolan Ackerman now coming to the plate. Catcher has walked and drove in a run with a single. Up here in the booth with Micah Wallette, though you can't see him. He's up here joining us for this bottom half of the 5th. So Ackerman will pop one up along the right side. Massis coming in from right. Second baseman Boyle drifts out there and makes the catch. Well, this was too short of a half inning. You want to stick around for the top of the 6th?
Sure, why not?
All righty. When we come back, the top of the 6th, Micah Wallette will stay with us here on the broadcast. 5-3 the score. We've played 5 here at the ballpark. So the Sasquatch are going back to the bullpen. Nathan Harb will come into the game. Cole Krieber is done after just 1 inning. So he pitches top of the 5th, allows 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks, strikes out 1. And now it'll be Nathan Harb who comes into the ball game. Joined the team a little bit late, as did you, Micah. And he'll get some action here in the 6th inning as the Sasquatch still holding on to a 2-run lead. Up here in the booth with Micah Wallett, who joined us for the home half of the 5th, but way too quick of an inning to get in a whole conversation. So he'll be up here for the top of the 6th as well. It's Chris Ortega, Kyle Whitaker, and Logan Worm, 4, 5, 6 in the order, coming to the plate for the Plainsmen. Well, Micah, you, like I said, joined the team a little bit late along with Nathan Harb. How was your first time getting to meet the guys, that first impression with these new guys from all over? Some of these guys already had gotten to know each other before you came here. What was that first few days like?
Meeting everyone was super cool. Everyone greeted me with open arms, so that was really nice. But before coming, Seth was here last year, so I got to learn a little bit about Spearfish before entering the city and everything. So just knowing what I was coming into was really nice. And then just meeting everyone. This is a good group of guys that we have, and it sucks that it's just for the summer because I've gotten so close with these guys already. It's been 3-4 weeks, so meeting all these guys, and summer ball is just so special in that way where you can just meet all these guys from all different parts of the country. So yeah, we got a good group of guys here, and hopefully we just keep winning and keep the chemistry going.
We talk about the good group of guys as we'll get a pinch hitter here for the Plainsmen. Fly out to right field, and Javier Marcial made the catch. I was watching your mic'd up video that's on the Instagram page. For any of you who don't follow the Spearfish Sasquatch on Instagram, definitely check it out. There's like reposted TikToks, Instagram Reels, and obviously a whole bunch of content that goes out there on the Instagram account. But I saw you give a big hug to Javier Marcial. Is that one of your guys? And obviously you both outfielders playing a similar position, center field, right field. Is that a guy you've gotten close to?
Yeah, Javi's my guy for sure. He was one of the first guys I got close with, and during BP we're out in the outfield getting our reps, so we talk a lot and we have good conversations. We like a lot of the same things, so shout out to Javi. He was also mic'd up, and his was hilarious. He's just a funny guy, dude. Like probably the funniest guy on the team for sure. Professional yapper, just talks, and but I love that guy to death, and just talking to him about his season and hearing his success. And is he going to get a ball right here? Oh,
there we go. 2 flyouts to Marcial.
The devil, Javier.
I'll leave it open. I mean, those are 2 quick innings. Do you want to stick around for one more? Or
yeah, why not?
All right,
let's do it.
Let's do it. 2 quick innings, 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 5th and top of the 6th. So when we come back, we'll have one last half inning with Micah Wallett on the mic. Bottom of the 6th, 5-3 Sasquatch. Back here for the bottom half of the 6th. This game is starting to cruise along over the last few innings. After that top of the 6th inning, or top of the 5th, we've had a few in a row. Bottom third of the order for the Sasquatch, Ben Tate, Danny Cook, and Ben Green will come to the plate here in the bottom of the sixth. I'm still joined up here in the booth with Micah Wallet. I think you're tying now Ryan Bachman for the longest we've had a guest up in the booth. I think we had Bachman up for an inning and a half as well.
Let's go. Shout out to the Cap.
Need some runs here in the bottom half of the sixth as the Sasquatch lead it 5-3. Going up against Dean Rizzo for a second inning. Tate will get under it and sky it into center fields. Brooks will drift over and make the catch. One pitch, one out here in the bottom half of the sixth. To go back to what we were talking about in the top of the sixth just a little bit about the mic'd up segment. Was that something that you pitched out there to our intern Tori Noseworthy, who does all of our social media stuff, or did she come up to you and ask if you wanted to do it?
Yeah, shout out to Tori. She came up to me during BP and just asked me if I wanted to wear the mic. I said, sure, why not? And she followed me around with the camera and just got some raw footage of me hitting, playing the outfield. Oh, actually, no, I was DHing that day. So, but no, that was a really fun day, and it's a funny video. I do like that video a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't checked it out already, if you aren't following the Sasquatch on Instagram and on TikTok, definitely make sure you do so. You'll get mic'd ups as well as all the other content that our amazing intern staff produces. Count is 0-2 here on Danny Cook with one away. Pitch from Rizzo is swung on and missed. Cook goes down on strikes. There's the second out. Mentioned as well to us while we were between half innings that you're also from California. Our video production intern Stephen Hogenkamp as well as myself are also all from California. How's this heat going?
Today is hot, but today honestly reminds me of summer in California. This is a pretty typical day in Cali, so the weather's been weird here. I'm not used to seeing this many clouds. No clouds today, but this many clouds that I've seen in June, and the rain and some of the weather that we've gotten is just, it's a little weird up here. Cali is just sunny every day, and that's what you're used to. So, but as the summer's beginning, we're gonna get some better weather for sure.
One thing I'm hoping to get in, if we can get it in before this half inning's over, looks like we might. Coming here to Spearfish, South Dakota, how'd you find this team in the first place? Coming from California, how'd you get connected with this team and end up here?
Seth, actually. Seth kind of introduced me to the old coach, coach that got here, or that was here before, Coach Scott. And he reached out to me, asked me if I was doing anything this summer, or if I had any plans with any teams, or if I wanted to play. And I definitely wanted to get the reps and at-bats, so, I told him I was down to come out here, and, that was back in November, October maybe, so, it was in the back of my mind all season to come out here. Mascot's up here saying what's up.
Yeah, I'd asked to get him on the mic, but obviously Samson can't talk. You can probably hear the claps behind us. I do not envy Samson today in that costume. This is not the best weather for that. Here comes the 2-2 to Green. And the off-speed pitch just missing the outside corner as he tried to lock up Ben Green. Count now full on the 9-hole hitter. Well, talking to some of the other guys about Spearfish, just saying how beautiful it was, and you mentioned maybe going out to a couple places. If you've been able to see around the city, go to some of the tourist attractions.
Oh, wow.
We'll just keep it here during the half inning, but
yeah,
Ben Green strikes out looking.
I've seen a couple places. We're going to go to the lake on these days off, and, the hikes and everything are just beautiful, so. When we have off days, we like to go explore, and the city has, a good amount of things to do, so shout out to Spearfish.
Well, Micah, even though that was an inning and a half, I feel like that probably went faster than some of the full innings we've had with other guys, but either way, we appreciate you so much for taking the time, giving us an inning and a half. Thank you so much for coming up here in the booth. We'll step aside here after 6 innings of play. The Sasquatch lead at 5-3. Micah Wallet joined me in the booth. And let's go win this one for the Sasquatch.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Shout out to you guys in the booth.
Alrighty. We'll be back. Well, I think between half innings, you may have been able to see on our home plate cam, Justice Scott just trotted up out of the dugout and is now in the crowd here, which means I think he has been tossed from this game, probably due to the strike 3 looking on Ben Green that ended the last half inning. So Justice Scott will presumably watch the rest of this game from outside of his dugout. We'll see who does the rest of it downstairs. Just popped up along the first base line, Ben Tate, and that one is going to fall just foul along the first base line. So Andrew Cuff at the plate. Count is 1-2 here on Cuff. And a swing and a miss. Harb retires Cuff down on strikes, and that's the first out. So one away for Nathan Harb here in the 7th inning. So we're getting to see him for a 2nd inning of work. Saw Peters for 1, Krieber for 1, and now Harb worked the 6th, now trying to work through a 7th. Facing the 8th hole hitter, Adrian Amasquita. First pitch is upstairs, ball 1. Amasquita, strikeout victim both of his first 2 times. He's 0 for 2 today. Sasquatch still lead this one 5-3. Swing and a miss on the fastball. 5 runs for the Sasquatch. They came all in that bottom half of the 3rd inning. 3 for the Plainsmen. Those came all in the top half of the 5th. Outside of that, it's been a pretty quiet offensive day for both of these 2 teams. Counts now 0-2. Amasquita trying to avoid a 3rd strikeout. 1-2. Trying to avoid a strikeout in 3rd straight plate appearance. Comes the 1-2 from Harb. Doesn't chase the fastball upstairs that time. Micah Wallett came and joined us in the booth for the bottom half of the 5th as well as the entire 6th inning, and that's just because all of those were 1, 2, 3 innings. Middle part of this game's been going a little bit faster. Harb trying to continue that. And his 2-2 just misses off the edge. Now full count. Harb worked through 4, 5, 6 in order in the 6th inning. Facing a full count here against Amasquita. His pitch is lofted into right field. Long run for Marcial coming in. Dives. And he made the catch. What a play by Javier Marcial in right center field. Full extension on the dive robs Amasquita of a hit and retires the 2nd out. Javier Marcial in right field today with an athletic play. Comes up with the 2nd out, and it's now 5 straight retired by Nathan Harb with some help from his defense, going up against the 9-hole hitter Jackson Brooks, who fouls it away. Brooks struck out his first plate appearance. That was in the 3rd. He also walked and came around to score in the 5th. Comes the 0-1 from Harb. Fastball is just upstairs. Now 1-1 count. Harb not missing by much with his pitches here in the 7th inning. The ones he is not getting the chase on the close ones. Missing again there. Now 2 balls and a strike. Plainsmen trying to avoid falling to 0-5 to begin the year. Sasquatch hoping for back-to-back wins, improving to 14-11. This is lined up the middle. That's a base hit for Jackson Brooks, who's on base for a 2nd time. 2-out single will extend the 7th and brings the lineup back over to the top in CJ Fish. No action right now in either bullpen, so we expect Dean Rizzo will be back out there for the Plainsman, who's worked effectively in his outing, and Nathan Harb will work through this 7th by himself. It's the leadoff man, CJ Fish, who now represents the tying run here in the 7th. First pitch missing on Fish. Fish struck out his first trip, grounded out to short in the third inning, and then brought home a run with an RBI single in the fifth. Also came around to score a run as part of that 3-run Plainsmen fifth inning. Comes the 1-0. That one will catch the corner. Now the count even on Fish. Jackson Brooks off of first, 2-out single. Plainsmen trying to manufacture a run against Nathan Harb. Now 2 balls and a strike. Probably the best we've seen Harb to this point. Came to the team a little bit late. Trying to get 6 outs out of the bullpen here. Runner goes. Pitches upstairs. Ackerman's throw down to second's just a little late. Jackson Brooks will swipe second. And he'll advance now into scoring position with 2 outs and a favorable hitter's count. 3 balls and 1 strike to CJ Fish. Brody Boyle is waiting on deck if Fish can reach and extend the inning. Base hit could score a run here for the Plainsmen. Trail by 2, trying to cut it in half. Sasquatch still leading 5-3. Took the lead in the third and haven't looked back. Here comes the 3-1. This is fouled away towards the Sasquatch bullpen. Now a full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nathan Harb trying to finish off the 7th with another 0. Here comes the 3-2. And the fastball just misses upstairs. It's a walk to CJ Fish. And it'll put 2 runners on with 2 away. And now the go-ahead run in the form of Brody Boyle will come to the plate in the 7th. To this point, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the Plainsmen. 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for the Sasquatch. First and second, 2 men out. And Harb's first pitch is in the dirt, blocked well by Ackerman. Keeps it in front of him. Stops the runners from advancing. Middle part of the order, the guys you want up if you're the Plainsmen. Brody Boyle's been quiet today. Ground out, strikeout, and a walk on his line. 1-0 pitch, that's a strike. Harb came in the 6th inning, 3 up, 3 down. Retired the first 2 here in the 7th with help from a nice defensive play by Javier Marcial. But then a single and a walk, back-to-back guys reaching. Harb trying to stop it right here, 1-1. This one's fouled away, now 1-2. So it looks like Elijah Bobo has begun warming in the Sasquatch bullpen. Runner goes from second, and the pitch is fouled away. Jackson Brooks was taken off for third, but CJ Fish was not running towards second, so maybe a miscommunication there on the half of the Plainsmen. You don't see that very often. One guy take off and the guy behind him not. Either way, the foul ball will bring them back to their spots, first and second with 2 away. There's nobody holding on Brooks at second. He doesn't go this time, and the pitch is fouled away again, so Brady Boyle making Nathan Harb work for this 3rd out here in the 7th inning. Harb's pitch count still not bad, 31, and he's gotten 5 outs. This is the 8th batter he's facing. Here comes the 1-2. Goes with an off speed, and again, it's fouled away. Everything is at the same spot off the bat of Boyle. Over top our shaded portion in the stands along the first base line. Perhaps Boyle in swing mode here and a chance for Harb to get a chase. The count is 1-2 with 2 away. 2 runners on, Plainsmen trailing by 2. Harb trying to finish this off, put another 0 on the board. He'll step off and chase Jackson Brooks back to the second base bag. And now it's Boyle that's calling time. And he's going to call out Ackerman. I think he's motioning there with the hands that there's a chance that Brooks might be relaying signs from second base. So wants to get on the same page with Ackerman here. Make sure they are on the same page and that Brooks is not on that same page. And then he can retire Boyle here. Count remains, ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes from Harb. And again, it's fouled away. So he continues to stay alive. That's now 5 straight foul balls. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Coming to Brody Boyle. Peters off of second. Fish off of first. The 1-2. This is lined right to short and right into the glove of Danny Cook. Positioned perfectly. The line out is the 3rd out, and it's stretch time here at the ballpark. Another 0 put up by the Sasquatch bullpen, and the score remains 5-3. Top of the Sasquatch lineup coming up here in the 7th inning, as it's Ryan Bachman who'll lead things off. Bachman, Bowman, and Rakes going up against Dean Rizzo, who's been shut down out of the bullpen. He's faced 6 batters. He's retired all 6. Came in relief after 4 innings of work by Dean Kelly, who allowed just 5 runs. It's been Rizzo ever since, and he's been dominant. Falling behind Bachman here 2-0. He's been able to throw a lot of strikes outside of those 2 to Ryan Bachman. Entering this inning, he had 18, 13 of them for strikes. So now 20 pitches and 13 strikes and 6 outs as Bachman rips it just foul. Now the count is 2-1. Certainly a different change in velocity from Rizzo since, or I should say from Kelly to Rizzo. Change of velocity noticeable, so perhaps these Sasquatch hitters just try to adjust to that change, and once they do, could see a lot of hits start to fall. 2-1 is upstairs now. 3 balls and a strike on Bachman. Bachman, a pair of flyouts to right field today, as well as an RBI single and a run scored. So 1 for 3 day for the leadoff man. Comes the 3-1. Grounded, third, and that's going to get past the diving Cuff into left field. Bachman will stop at first base as Amesquita will throw it all the way into second, and now the ball gets away. And it gets away from the first baseman, Ortega. Bachman's going to hustle for second. Not exactly what they're going to score that one. Probably an error will go to Amesquita, so it'll be a single and advancing to an error, or advancing to second on the error. Ryan Bachman will find himself in scoring position to lead off the seventh.
Batting number 37, Jordan Bowman.
Brings up Jordan Bowman, who's had a pretty nice day at the plate. Grounded out to second his first trip, and then a walk and a double, as well as a stolen base and a run scored. Been doing a little bit of everything out of the 2-hole today. Takes strike one. Bowman launches foul as he turns on that pitch inside. Have to be careful here if you're Dean Rizzo. Have to imagine if he leaves that pitch anywhere over the heart of the plate. We saw Kyle Finn clear the scoreboard out in left field. It's probably the farthest ball we've seen by anybody here at the ballpark. Bowman looked like he was trying it there as he is out in front of it and fouls it away. Now the count 0-2. It's got to be tough as well as a hitter. I mean, you're used to seeing guys maybe in the 70s, 80s, and potentially even the 90s. Then you got a guy like Rizzo in the game who's pretty much consistently 60s. It's hard not to swing out of your shoes from sometimes, especially when you've got the power that Jordan Bowman has. Counts now 1-2. Bowman just gets under it, hits in the air to left field. Amesquita will settle under it, and he'll make the catch for the first out as Bowman is maybe just a tad in front, just a tad underneath, giving the Sasquatch a 7-3 lead. Brings up Patrick Rakes. Rakes 1 for 3, getting a second straight day in the starting lineup. Earned it after his 2-run shot in yesterday's game. Single and a run scored for Rakes today. Sasquatch brought home 9 guys to the plate in the 5th inning, where they scored 5 runs. Outside of that inning, they only have 1 hit. Tick that. Now 2 hits after Bachman's single in this half inning. So besides that inning, they had 1 hit in the 4th and now 1 hit in the 7th inning. 7 on the day. If you're the Plainsmen, you got to wonder what could have been if you were able to shut down that 3rd inning a little bit more. This pitch just floats outside to Patrick Rakes. Now count goes to 1-2. Outfield shading Rakes to pull just a little bit. Center fielder Brooks shading towards right center. Bachman takes off. The pitch is inside. The throw to third will not be made. Ryan Bachman swipes third. And he'll advance 90 feet as we're starting to see the Sasquatch run a little bit on the base paths. Now Bachman with a steal. Bowman has a steal. Darnall and Ben Green. 4 steals, 4 different players running on the base paths. And now as we approach the final few innings of this game, the Plainsmen with some urgency will bring the infield in. With 1 away, 2-2. Rakes hard hit into right center field. That's going to get down and split the outfielders. Bachman will score as it 1 hops the wall. Rakes is hustling hard for second. He takes a turn. He's headed for third. Relay to third. That's not in time. Patrick Rakes, RBI triple. Sasquatch extend the lead. It's now 6-3.
RBI triple from Patrick Rakes extends the lead. 6-3 Sasquatch and brings up number 23, Javier Marcial.
So how about Patrick Rakes over his last few days? Yesterday, a 2-run home run. Today, a single and a triple. And the Plainsmen are going to keep, well, some of the infield in. Right now, it's just the shortstop, Fish, who's got his toes up against the grass. Javier Marcial will watch first pitch go outside. Right side of the infield remaining slightly back. The third baseman, Cuff, is behind, playing even with the bag at third. Comes the 1-0. That one locks up Marcial. You could see him freeze and tilt his head back slightly. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike. Marcial, a hit by pitch today, also drove in a run with a ground out. 1-1, that's hit in the air to left field and deep. Going back is Amesquita. He's at the track, at the wall, out of sight. 2-run homer, Javier Marcial. The Sasquatch lead grows, it's 8-3. had to think the more times these Sasquatch guys saw Dean Rizzo on the mound, they'd make the adjustment, and Javier Marcial is the one to do it. Gets a hanging pitch right over the heart of the plate. And Javier Marcial might have just surpassed Kyle Finn with the farthest ball we've seen at the ballpark, as that was absolutely launched to left field. A 2-run shot for Marcial. And the Sasquatch lead is now back up to 5. Darnall keeps it going with a hard hit ball to left. This is just foul. Maybe a ball or two foul. In left field would have been extra bases for Dylan Darnall. The Sasquatch are starting to figure out Dean Rizzo here in the 7th inning. Still nobody going in the Plainsmen bullpen. Rizzo has only thrown 36 pitches, so his pitch count is in fine shape, but Sasquatch are starting to make the adjustment on the timing. Single, triple, and a homer. 3 hits for the Sasquatch in the inning and 3 runs scored, as that one just catches the outside corner. Count goes to 0-2 on Darnall. Darnall a pair of groundouts as well as an RBI single. And as mentioned, also stole a base. 2 pitches in the dirt. Plainsmen only have 6 outs to go for the offense. We'll see who the pitcher will be. Elijah Bobo was warming, but he's since stopped throwing. Could see Nathan Hard maybe out there for the 3rd inning, or perhaps Elijah Bobo is ready to go and just resting. Still only 1 out as well. Count is a ball and 2 strikes here on Dylan Darnall. Home half of the 7th, 8-3 Sasquatch lead. Dean Rizzo still on the mound. His pitch grounded to short, going to be a tough play. Backhanded by Fish. Long throw across the diamond. The scoop at first, not in time. Well, the Plainsmen did everything they could on that one as Fish made a nice play. The throw to first, strong. Ortega dug it out, but Darnall with too much speed, he's going to reach on the single. So maybe the Sasquatch heard me. I said they only had 1 hit outside of the 3rd inning. They now got 4 in this half inning. Threatening to tack on a few more insurance runs here is Nolan Ackerman, the catcher. And the 6th guy to come to the plate in the half inning steps to the box. A wild pitch is going to advance Darnall to second. So now again, Sasquatch will have a runner in scoring position. Still only 1 out on the board. Spearfish threatening to blow this game open. The Plainsmen now will get an arm throwing in the bullpen, a righty loosening. Breaking ball drops just high. Now a 2-0 count. Ackerman an RBI single and a walk, as well as a pop out. This is inside. Today for the Sasquatch, of their 9 hitters, the only 2 who have not reached base are Ben Tate and Danny Cook. The next 2 due up for the Sasquatch. It's Tate who's on deck and Cook in the hole. Everybody else has reached base today, spreading the wealth. And this one hits Ackerman. So he will advance to first. The Sasquatch will now have runners on first and second with nobody out. Game just went final in the ILB. The Casper Spuds beating the Oahe Zap 12-6. As we mentioned, a busy day of baseball around the league as we get a mound visit here for the Plainsmen. So the Spuds, after winning the first half, continue. And the other game going on around the league is the Nebraska Prospects, who are playing the Hastings Sodbusters. That game is 1-0, and it's in the top of the 3rd. And, of course, you've got this game going on. 8-3, Sasquatch in the lead. Sasquatch will try to finish off the first half of the season with a couple wins. 13-11, the current record, hoping to improve to 14-11. While the Plainsmen are just getting their feet underneath them. Currently sit at 0-4, trying to avoid falling in a 5th straight. A lot to look forward to in the second half for the teams around the ILB. Casper Spuds, as mentioned, locked down that first spot, but see if the Sasquatch can beat out the Moo, the Sidebusters, the other teams fighting for the second spot in the championship series. So Ben Tate will come to the plate, as we mentioned. One of two players who haven't reached base yet would love to get in on the action. Did they just try a hidden ball trick? I don't think Rizzo had the ball. Rizzo does not have the ball. The entire crowd here, as well as our head coach Justice Scott up here in the booth, is calling for a balk as he, I think, stepped on the rubber without the ball. So the Plainsmen trying to contest that it's legal. It was the second baseman, Boyle, who had the ball. Maybe it was Fish, I don't. So he's safe at second base, and I don't think they're calling a balk either. Let them sort this one out as it's Bo Boyle, who head coach for the Plainsmen, who's talking with the home plate umpire right now. It's interesting, if they call him safe, that means that the hidden ball trick didn't work, but if they don't call a balk, then that would mean that there's no balk there either. We already saw Justice Scott get ejected from the game, so we could see the very rare occurrence of both managers be ejected, but it looks like Boyle is going to stay in the game here. So they try the hidden ball trick, but it doesn't work. No pitch thrown, and now the first one to Ben Tate is upstairs, ball one. Well, knowing the Sasquatch team, a team that, of course, it is summer ball, so this is a common occurrence across every team, but trash talk and chirping the other dugout is certainly a part of the game, and have to imagine after that, you're only going to see that go up. Count is 2-0 here on Ben Tate. Runners on first and second. Dylan Darnall off of second. Ackerman off first. This one's inside. 3 balls and no strikes. So Tate trying to reach base. Ahead in the count here, 3-0. See if he gets something good to hit, and if he pulls the trigger. He doesn't get anything good to hit, so he doesn't pull the trigger, and it's a walk. Ben Tate is aboard for the first time tonight. Reaches on a walk, the bases are loaded. And with one away, Danny Cook will come to the plate. Trailing by 5, we'll see if the Plainsmen bring the infield in or not. Third baseman Cuff getting close towards the infield grass. Middle infield staying back as Danny Cook fouls it away. If Danny Cook can reach, then every Sasquatch batter will have reached base today in what could be his final at-bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Sasquatch 5 runs in the 3rd, 3 runs in the 7th. They've only needed those 2 innings to put up 8 runs today. This one just is off the outside part, and now ball and a strike. Cook entered today scorching hot at the plate. Got off to a bit of a slow start joining the team, but since that slow start, he's been one of the best hitters over his last few games. Entering today with a .400 batting average. Count is 1-2. Cook a pair of strikeouts and a flyout today. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. Sasquatch on top by 5. Rizzo's pitch is lined into center field. That's a base hit for Danny Cook. Darnall will score. Here comes Ackerman right behind him. The throw comes into third. It's a 2-run RBI single for Danny Cook. The Sasquatch get into double digits. They lead it 10-3. Ben Tate advancing to second. And now every Sasquatch batter has indeed reached base. A meeting on the mound once again, and this will likely do it for Dean Rizzo. He will depart. Sasquatch with 5 runs here in the 7th inning to blow this game open. 10-3 is the score when we return. Back here on a toasty Sunday afternoon. Getting my days mixed up. Pitches upstairs. That's a ball to Ben Green. Facing the new pitcher, Dean Samuel, into the game. Replacing Dean Rizzo, who could not get through this 7th inning. He goes just 2 1/3. Turns the ball over to Dean Samuel. So from one Dean to another. Samuel played in yesterday's game. He was second baseman last night. This is his first outing on the mound for the Plainsmen in this short beginning to the season. Finds the zone there on 2-0. It was Ben Green's strikeout looking that ended the bottom half of the 6th that got head coach Justice Scott ejected from the ball game. But the offense hasn't slowed down. 5 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Count now 2-2 on Green. Thank you so much for sticking with us here today, despite the technical difficulties and only having the one camera up here in the booth working. We really appreciate you tuning in for some Sunday afternoon baseball. So glad to have you along with us all day. This is lined just over the top of a leaping Ortega at first, and this one's going to roll all the way close to the warning track. Ben Green will hustle hard towards second. The throw's not in time. It's an RBI double for Ben Green. And the Sasquatch hangs 6 on the board here in the 7th inning. And now lead at 11-3.
Now batting number 24, Ryan Bachman.
Back to the top of the order, Ryan Bachman, who led off this half inning. The Sasquatch have now brought 9. Now this will be 10 to the plate. Ben Tate came around to score on the double. Advancing to third is Danny Cook. So it'll be Cook on third, Green on second. Still only 1 out on the board for the Plainsmen. And Bachman up for his second time. He'll look at ball 1. Bachman singled to begin the frame. He had a ball in the left field, and then Amiskita threw it away from left. It ended up going over the head of Fish and Boyle at second base, and then past Ortega at first. That allowed Bachman to advance to second. And he would come around to score on the RBI triple by Patrick Rakes. The only out of this inning was a fly ball from Jordan Bowman, who just missed a homer by maybe half a second. He was just slightly ahead of the ball and came up with a fly out instead. So hasn't been a whole lot of weak contacts generated by Plainsmen pitching. First Rizzo and now Samuel. 2-1, that one is inside on Bachman. Count goes to 3 balls and a strike. Bowman, like mentioned, he's waiting on deck. No action for the Plainsmen. This is up to Samuel to finish off. His 3-1 misses. So Bachman on base for a second time in this inning alone. So he's now reached base in every game he's played in. He's reached base 3 out of 5 times today, and the bases are loaded for Jordan Bowman. Samuel will now work out of the windup. And he misses with the first pitch. This game went by pretty quickly through the first 3 innings, outside of that bottom half of the 3rd, but even that inning went by pretty fast. The middle frames went by super fast. We had Micah Wallette up here in the booth, and those were 1, 2, 3 innings after 1, 2, 3 innings. Top of the 5th, bottom of the 5th, or check that. Bottom of the 5th, top of the 6th, and bottom of the 6th were all 1, 2, 3 innings. Slowed down here a bit in the 7th inning as the Plainsmen pitching has struggled to get outs and now losing the strike zone after a walk to Bachman. 3 balls and no strike is the count to Bowman, who's taken the whole way. Check that. No, he's not. He looked like he was. And then he unloads on a pitch down the middle. And that's going to bring home 2 runs. Throw comes into second base. Scoring is Cook and Green. And Ryan Bachman, or pardon me, Jordan Bowman, I think, deked out everybody, including me. As he let that bat rest on his shoulder, he looked like he was going to take the whole way. But he decided not to, and I guess it was the right move. 2 RBI single extends the Sasquatch lead first and second, and now 13-3 the score. As Lane Syme will now come to the plate in place of Patrick Rakes, who'll likely stay in the game and play left field. As Patrick Rakes' day is done, he goes 2 for 4. This ball is just inside the line, down the third base line. Scoring will be Ryan Bachman. Jordan Bowman will advance to third, and Lane Syme has a double. And his first at-bat of the game, an RBI, pinch hit double. And now the Sasquatch will unload the bench a little bit. Hey, it's Micah Wallette who comes to the plate. Fresh off of spending a few innings in the booth here, now he's going to come to the plate. And, man, a big part of me is just hoping he hits a 3-run homer here just because I'd love to see the on-camera mojo maybe well, it wasn't on camera. The on-the-mic mojo help him out a little bit. He just misses it as he hits one in the center field. This will score a run. Brooks underneath it. He makes the catch. Bowman will tag from third. Syme stays put at second. It's a sac fly for Micah Wallette. That extends the lead as the Sasquatch have exploded here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. That is 10 runs in the frame and a 15-3 lead. So all Sasquatch here today. After taking a 5-0 lead, the Plainsmen threatened to come back with 3 of their own in the 5th inning, but any chance of a comeback seems to have been shut down after 10 runs in this frame, and still a chance for more. Pair of pinch hitters. Now we'll see Dylan Darnell, the regularly scheduled batter, who will hit for himself out of the 5-hole. This is the 14th guy to come to the plate in this inning. Counts 3-0 on Darnell. 3-0, that's a strike. Every Sasquatch starter has scored a run in this inning, as Jordan Bowman came around to score on that last one. This has popped up, shortstop, and this will likely do it. It's the shortstop Fish who makes the catch, and after 10 runs by the Sasquatch in the 7th inning, finally we're headed to the 8th. Sasquatch with a commanding 15-3 lead. It would appear we may have lost our high home camera up here in the press box. So for now, as our amazing video production intern Stephen Hogenkamp tries to work his magic and bring it back online, right now we're going to do a little bit of a radio call, so we'll have no video here for the top half of the 8th inning. Jordan Massis, Chris Ortega Marcus Salazar, the 3 to face the new pitcher, Elijah Bobo. Here's his first pitch, and it's on the just down low. Missed down at the knees to Jordan Massis. That's ball 1. Elijah Bobo likely going to handle these final 2 innings. Here's the next pitch, and it's upstairs. Missed with the fastball high. Now the count goes to 2-0. Massis today, a walk, a ground out, and a double play. As Bobo ready from the windup, here comes his 2-0. And it's chopped over the bag at second base and into the outfield. That's a base hit. Jordan Massis will reach on the single, as throwing it in from center is Ben Green. So a leadoff single for Jordan Massis to begin the top half of the 8th inning. Brings up now Chris Ortega, the first baseman. Ortega's been one of the biggest factors in the offense today, although he hasn't factored into the runs or RBIs. A single and a double, as well as a flyout, so he's 2 for 3. Bobo now will work out of the stretch. Small lead by Massis at first. No movement there. As Bobo's first pitch will sail outside into the left-handed batter's box. Ball 1. No away. 1 runner on for the Plainsmen in the 8th. Cleanup hitter Chris Ortega in the right-handed batter's box. We'll look at ball 2, which sails down and in. So the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Infield, outfield, straight up here on Ortega. Ben Tate holding on Jordan Massis at first. The pitch from Bobo. This is swung on and missed. A big swing on a fastball upstairs, just underneath it, and came up empty. So now the count goes to 2-1. Elijah Bobo's fastball, among some of the fastest on the team. High 80s. Looked like it there. Count is 2-1. Bobo comes set. Now he comes home. This time it's the breaking ball, and it's fouled off right back to the screen behind home plate. Count will go now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sasquatch need just 6 more outs out of the bullpen. Elijah Bobo will likely have to get all 6. No action in the Sasquatch bullpen, and we've seen him work multiple innings several times already, so this could very well be 2 innings of work for Bobo. He comes set ahead of a 2-2. Here's his pitch, and it's swung on and missed. The fastball blew it right by Chris Ortega. Threw it on the outside corner, and Ortega couldn't get there in time. Swing and a miss is the first out of the inning, and the Plainsmen will keep that runner on first base. But now with 1 away and Marcus Salazar digging in. Got the camera back online. Shout out our amazing Stephen Hogenkamp. Getting it back to work, so I'll transition back from my over description of radio to back to a little bit more laid back of your TV broadcast. The count is 0-1 here on Marcus Salazar. Jordan Massis still on first. 0-1, that's a swing and a miss, as he could not hold up on the fastball. Just couldn't figure out whether he wanted to swing or not. Salazar came in as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning. Whitaker was 0 for 1 with a walk, and then Salazar grounded out to short his first trip in the 6th. This is now his second at-bat today. This time the fastball misses, so now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Salazar, who came in as a DH. Comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Elijah Bobo gets Salazar down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Elijah Bobo. That'll bring up now the catcher, Logan Worm. Worm is 0 for 3. Pair of groundouts, one of them a double play and a flyout for the Plainsman backstop today, as this one nearly clips him. It's just out of the way. Plainsmen a long way to go if they're going to come back in this ball game. Becoming less and less likely with every batter, as now with 2 away. Mass is still off of first. 1-0 count. Bobo missing there. 2 balls and no strikes. Plainsmen do have an arm that was getting loose in the bullpen, so potentially we see Dean Samuel back out there, but now that arm is coming back towards the dugout along with the bullpen catcher. So could be a new pitcher for the ninth inning, or for the bottom of the eighth, I should say. This is popped up along the first base line. Tate's going to run out of room. That lands just in front of our concessions stand. I don't know everybody's name that works in concessions today. If I did, I'd share them all, but a massive shout out to everybody who works here at the ballpark, especially on a day like this, 90 degrees, working hard, and the concession stand, which does not have a lot of air in it, working hard to do everything they do here at the ballpark, along with everybody here at the stadium. A massive thank you to all of them for doing their part and making such an amazing experience for our fans here at the ballpark, especially on a day like this. Here comes a 3-1 from Bobo. It's popped up a mile high. This one's going up over our heads. And it'll go into the parking lot. So now full count. Expect Maxis to be on the move with 3-2 and 2 outs. Andrew Cuff is on deck if the Plainsmen can extend the inning. Bobo looking for a third strikeout in the frame. Here comes his 3-2. It's grounded to third, backhanded there. Long throw across the diamond by Darnall, and it's in time. That'll do it for the top of the eighth. The Plainsmen will have just 3 outs of offense, but first, the Sasquatch Bats likely coming to plate for the last time in the home half of the eighth, leading 15-3. Jake Dempsey, as the Sasquatch go back to their bench. Dempsey is going to pinch hit here to begin the eighth inning. Pinch hitting for Nolan Ackerman, so expect to see Dempsey remaining in the game and doing the catching in the top of the ninth. Scheduled 3 hitters are Dempsey, Tate, and Cook. Tate is taking swings on deck, so looks like we will see him and not a pinch hitter. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Plainsmen. It's number 3, Sam Bradshaw, who will take over for Dean Samuel. Bradshaw was the catcher in yesterday's game. He'll now do the pitching. Quickly ahead of Dempsey, 0-2. Sasquatch brought home 10 runs on 8 hits in the bottom half of the eighth. Check that, the bottom half of the seventh. We are in the bottom half of the eighth. And there's no action in the Sasquatch bullpen, so it more than likely will be Elijah Bobo, who will be tasked with getting the final 6 outs of this one. Already got 3 in the eighth, looking to get 3 more in the ninth. But first, Jake Dempsey grounds one up the middle. That's a base hit. Even the guys off the bench are getting involved with the hitting. Jake Dempsey with a single up the middle. Sasquatch get a leadoff base runner here in the 8th. Ben Tate will now come to the plate.
Now batting number 22, Benjamin Tate.
So prior to today, the Sasquatch had put up 15 runs in a 15-5 win against Hastings, and they put up 16 runs in that 16-10 win against Oahe back on the 20th. So they're 1 run away from tying their season total, or season high, which would be 16, and 2 runs away from setting a new season high mark. Got a chance to do so right here with Ben Tate at the plate, 7-hole hitter. 1-0 pitch is chopped to short, going to be tough to turn 2. They go to second, there's 1. The throw on to first, that's not in time. Fielder's choice for Ben Tate. He will reach, and there's 1 away.
Next up, number 30, Daniel Cook.
That's the shortstop, Danny Cook. Cook was 0 for 3 before that 7th inning, but everybody got involved in that frame. All 9 Sasquatch starters recorded, check that, not all 9 recorded a hit, but all 9 scored a run in that frame. Danny Cook did record a hit. It was an RBI single. One-0 is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. After this half inning, we're going to have the Sasquatch 400, though I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it. We only have the 1 camera up here, but we'll make sure that you can watch it. Sasquatch 400 presented by Tin Lizzy. That's coming up at the end of this half inning. This is lined up the middle. There's another hit for Danny Cook, who stays hot at the plate. After what looked like he was cooling off, he's now 2 for his last 2 and a 2 for 5 day. Keeps his batting average right in line with that 400. Tate advancing to second now. 2 runners on, 1 away. We're back at the bottom part of the order. 9-hole hitter, Ben Green. He's been productive out of the 9-hole. Single and a double. RBI double his last trip in the 7th. This one misses outside. Got 1-0 here on Green. Long look in for Bradshaw. Now he comes set. 1-0 is launched into right field. This is well struck. Back on it goes Massis. He's at the track. That ball is out of sight. Ben Green, a 3-run homer, has blown this game wide open. Even more so, 18-3. The Sasquatch have now set a new single game high for 2024 with 18 runs. And Ben Green tacks on 3 more with a 3-run shot in the 8th. So why not 18 runs? The offense doesn't stop for the Sasquatch. So the lineup goes back over to the top, which was Ryan Bachman's spot in the order, but it'll be Matthew Gonzalez who pinch hits. Bachman, of course, playing second base, so expect Gonzalez to remain in the game and play second. Bottom of the 8th, 3 more runs in for the Sasquatch. 18 runs is a new 2024 single game high. Gonzalez lifts one foul. I don't have the numbers on previous years, otherwise I'd tell you where this ranks in terms of total games the Sasquatch have played and how many runs they've scored, but I assume 18 would be relatively high. Got to figure this is now the 6th year with the Sasquatch, probably a couple games that might have reached the 20s in there, but 18 certainly nothing to scoff at. Exactly what you want heading into the second half of the year. The Sasquatch are going to have 3 off days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They can take a little bit of a break, enjoy themselves before getting back here at home for a long homestand. Thursday through Wednesday, they'll be here at the ballpark to kick off the second half, and maybe ride this offensive wave into the second half and keep this offense going, which has been so good this year. 18 runs here today. 3-1 is popped up into shallow center. Brooks puts it away. Here's our number 2.
Now adding number 26, Aiden Torpy.
How about this? Aiden Torpy is going to come to the plate, and the bench is loving it. Aiden Torpy, of course, a pitcher, is going to get his first at-bat, probably his only at-bat of the summer. Let's see how comfortable he looks if he swings the bat here. Not bad. That's a healthy hack. The Sasquatch dugout is loving it. Got a first pitch fastball, and there we go. He's making the adjustment there with the bottom hand. Wonder whose bat he's using. Nice orange wood bat for Torpy. I thought that at some point in the Sasquatch we're going to try that out, and Torpy certainly earned himself an at-bat with the way he's been pitching. Of course, just don't want to see him get hurt here. The 0-1, that misses. Counts a ball and a strike. This might be the most locked in the Sasquatch dugout's been in a few innings. Hoping that Aiden Torpy can get a hit here. He's pinch hitting for Jordan Bowman, whose night is done. Here comes the 1-1. This is grounded, just foul. Certainly not the most comfortable looking swing there we've seen all night, but Torpy got around on the fastball and just pulled it foul. We'll see if he makes the adjustment here and can come up with a hit. Counts a ball and 2 strikes here with 2 away. Sasquatch leading 18-3 thanks to a 3-run homer by Ben Green here in the 8th, extending the lead. Here comes the 1-2. And Torpy shows off the eye there in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, he hasn't chased the pitch out of the zone. Maybe the last one besides that ball might have been a little bit inside, but showing a good eye at the plate, waiting for his pitch. Let's see if he can capitalize with 2-2. Bradshaw on the mound. Torpy looks at ball 3. How about that? He's worked it full. A good at-bat here for the pitcher. This is a quality at-bat, I believe. Full count with 2 away. See if he gets a pitch to hit. Here it comes. And he goes down swinging. Can't say that was an unusual or an unexpected result. Torpy goes down on strikes. The Sasquatch bring home 3 runs on a 3-run homer by Ben Green. Head to the 9th, Elijah Bobo looking to close this one down and give the Sasquatch the win. Top of the 9th, last chance for the Plainsmen. Going up against Elijah Bobo. First pitch swinging and missing is Andrew Cuff. It's Cuff, Amasquita, and Jackson Brooks, the last 3 scheduled hitters for the Plainsmen. This is flied in the air to center field. Want to be a long run out there and able to make the play is Ben Green. Shows off the power in the bottom of the 8th and then shows off the speed and the glove. Able to run down that baseball and retire Andrew Cuff for the first out. Amasquita swings and misses, and there's strike one. Nothing in 2 on Amasquita. Elijah Bobo trying to finish off this game. 2 outs away from locking down the win. Here comes the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Amasquita is down on strikes for a 3rd time today. That's out number 2. The Sasquatch are 1 out away. Last hope for the Plainsmen will be Jackson Brooks. Stay tuned after this game's over. We'll try to have a GP Local post-game show. We'll see how it goes. This one's fouled away. Hoping to have Javier Marcial, who hit a home run today, join us up in the booth. So stick around after this game's over for just a couple minutes, maybe 2 minutes while we bring him up, and then we'll wrap this game up. Upstairs, counts a ball and a strike on Brooks. Strikeout, walk, and a single for Jackson Brooks today. Trying to extend the ball game, the last hope for the Plainsmen out of the 9-hole. Bobo's pitch is upstairs. This game's had a little bit of everything. A whole lot of offense, 18 runs for the Sasquatch. Some good starting pitching by Russell Peterson, which might go forgotten how good he was through 3 innings today. Head coach Justice Scott tossed in this game in the middle. And this one's grounded to the right side. This is going to get past the diving Matthew Gonzalez, who's in at second base instead of Ryan Bachman. There's a base hit for Jackson Brooks, and that does extend the ball game. And it'll give the top of the order one more chance. C.J. Fish will become the last hope for the Plainsmen. Game that had a little bit of everything, like I said. 18 runs for the Sasquatch, doing so on 17 hits. The Sasquatch offense continues to be hot. This pitch misses outside. After they were quieted a little bit yesterday, only 5 runs yesterday, and losing 2 out of 3 to Oahe. Game like today is certainly what you want to see. Get the momentum back on your side heading into the second half. This is in on the hands, fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Count 1-1 on C.J. Fish. Strikeout, ground out, a single, and a walk for the shortstop of the Plainsmen today. 1-1, that's fouled away, and the Plainsmen are down to their final strike. Elijah Bobo looking to finish off what Russell Peterson started. Peterson, then Peters, Krieber, and Harb. And now the final 6 outs hoping to come from Elijah Bobo. He's already got 5. 1 strike away. Here comes the pitch. Fouled away. We'll do it again with a 1-2 count. Crowd cheering on Bobo, trying to put this one away. Here comes the 1-2. And his fastball is elevated upstairs. It's been a good crowd all 3 days here at the ballpark. 70s, 80s, 90s weekends, concluding today with that 90s weekend. Despite the hot weather, fans sticking around to watch a Sasquatch win. Here comes the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Ball game over. Sasquatch hang on and win it. Elijah Bobo strong over the final 2 innings. And the Sasquatch with a dominating 18-3 victory here on Sunday afternoon. 4:05 first pitch. We end the ball game before the 3-hour mark. And these fans will get to enjoy some Sunday night here at their homes thanks to the early start. Sasquatch win this one, 18-3. Stick around for the GP Local postgame show. I'll have Javier Marcial hopefully up here in the booth. And because of today being a hot day and because of the hard work that everybody does, realistically, I should thank our entire staff every game. But today I just want to shout out all of our entire intern staff here at the ballpark. Our in-game host, Abby Halpin. We've got Ben Hill, Cyril Joseph, Landry Overby, Tori Noseworthy, Kenny Gable, Sean Waldfelt, Derek Riedede, Natalie Dean, Blake Bowen. For our video production intern, Stephen Hogenkamp, and our owner, Eric Schmidt, I'm Ari Wall. Stick around for the GP Local postgame show. It's coming up in just a few. Up here in the booth with Javier Marcial here for our GP Local postgame show. Javi, you had a strong day at the plate, 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run, and you knew that ball was gone right off the bat. Walk me through that at-bat. You've got Dean Rizzo on the mound, and certainly a change in velocity from the starter. How were you guys able to adjust, you specifically, able to find that fastball and put it over the fence?
Yeah, my first at-bat, I mean, you know it's a lot lower in velocity, but even then, like, you still try to see it once to try to make the adjustment. My first at-bat, I had a ground ball to third, so I just tried to set my sights a little bit more to right field. And then he hung a curveball, I just put a good swing.
Yeah, and as a team, I mean, 18 runs, you guys all getting involved in the action, even the pitcher, Aiden Torpy, getting an at-bat there in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Just as a team, what is it like in the dugout when everybody's hitting and you can just have a little bit of fun with 18 runs on the board?
No, yeah, it's great because as an offense, that's your job, to score runs. And when you're able to put up, 18, that's a lot of runs. You're doing your job well, so it's a lot easier to go out and have fun when you're doing your job.
And to finish off the first half as well, the last game of the first half of the season, 18 runs on the board. You're going to see this team again after a 3-day stretch without games. You're going to see them again on Thursday, and then heading into the second half. Obviously, it's summer ball, so the wins maybe don't mean exactly the same as they do at the college level, but I'm sure you guys want to win. You want a spot in the championship. How can you try to carry this offensive momentum into the second half?
Yeah, I think right now the most important thing is obviously to rest our bodies, use these 3 days to really get some rest and then come back with the same energy, same intensity. Try not to do too much, just like we did today, had a lot of fun, and just stay hot.
Yeah, well, I'll try to – you won't want to stay hot after this game. I'm sure you're already hot after playing 9 innings here today. You can cool off, enjoy some water, and enjoy the victory and enjoy some of those off days. Javi, thanks so much for joining me on the GP Local postgame show. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All righty, well, for everybody here on staff, for everybody here at the ballpark, the Sasquatch able to come away with the victory, and and they win it 18-3 here at the ballpark, the final game of our Decades weekend. Stick around. Our next broadcast will be on Thursday, another 6:05 first pitch, hoping it's a little bit cooler and that our cameras can be working at full capacity. But for all of you who are watching here today, despite some of the technical difficulties, we appreciate you so much for sticking along with us for all 9 innings here today, or maybe it was just a few in and out. Thank you so much for watching. For everybody here at the ballpark, I've been Ari Wall. Have a great rest of your Sunday night.